Greetings, Japan fans! In today's show, we look at what happens when mistakes come up at work in Japan. Very, very revealing. Hold on tight for this episode on dealing with mistakes. Maishu, arigatou gozaimasu, and welcome back to the Leadership Japan series. I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Sora, your corporate coaching and training guy, the president of Dalkani Training Japan, and the best-selling author of two books, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. We are broadcasting around the world from Minato-ku in the center of Tokyo, the leadership capital of Japan. Now, this podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan. Trust me, it is different here. If you have feedback on the show or preferences about potential future topics, and leave us your comments, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share this podcast. Here's our daily lineup of podcasts on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentation Japan Series podcast. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series podcast. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series podcast. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Now, before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is kiniitta. Kiniitta. For example, if you give someone a present and they're opening it and you want to see if it's something they like, you'd say, well, do you like it? In Japanese, you'd say kiniitta, kiniitta, kiniitta. Do you like it? Kiniitta, kiniitta, kiniitta. Did I get it right? Is this something you like? Kiniitta, kiniitta, kiniitta. This is episode number 333, and today we're talking about when things go wrong, everyone dives for cover in Japan. Japan is a no-mistake culture. This breeds timidity, resistance to change, lower levels of innovation, avoiding accountability, and an aversion to responsibility. Fine. But what happens when mistakes actually occur? As the boss, you face a conspiracy amongst the team to keep anything damaging, embarrassing, or lethal from you. If you discover one mistake, then you can probably guess that you've never even heard about the other 49. The biggest nightmare for the boss is to uncover an issue when it is too late to fix it. As the boss, you have money and authority available to make things happen and resuscitate a catastrophe. Usually that becomes too little too late because the crew hid it until it ballooned out of control. I remember an incident which occurred with a client. It was a small piece of business, but there was some dissatisfaction. The account manager was requested to bring the problem to my attention by the client's staff member. My account manager at the time told them that I didn't speak Japanese, so there was no point contacting me directly. This was a blatant lie and untrue, but the account manager had no problem swinging that one in order to hide his mistake. It only came to light serendipitously, otherwise I still would be no wiser. I had to waste an entire day, travel down to Kansai, and to apologize to the client. I assured the client manager that if he ever did that to me again, I would fire him on the spot. I explained that making mistakes is not ideal, but that is how we learn and improve. Hiding mistakes, though, is an entirely different matter and totally unacceptable. I have the money and power to bail him out, and I will do that immediately, but can only do that if I know about it. Given that everyone is trained to hide problems, how should we proceed to understand the full scope of the issue? The staff will only reveal the absolute minimum amount of detail of the boss and try and smother the rest from sight. The boss needs to apply this 6-step formula to get on top of the issue. 1. Define what is the problem. As I mentioned, you don't automatically get offered up the full picture of what is going on, so you have to really concentrate on dragging it out of people who are super reluctant to inform you of what is the real situation. 2. Next, look at what was the cause of the problem. This is where people really go into overtime to bamboozle the boss. Key information is hidden, timelines are blurred, responsibility is definitely the first casualty of trouble. Forensic skills and great patience are needed here. Detective-style tactics like individual discussions with those involved are needed so the collusion capacity to hide stuff can be kept to a minimum. Find out more when we come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs to do these in Japanese and in English. Now, today's show is brought to you by our Step Up the Leadership program. Next one is on the 27th of January. Excellent one-day program. You are a player, you become a leader. How do I do performance evaluations? How do I communicate now as a leader? How do I coach people as a leader? What is my exact role? What are my responsibilities? What am I supposed to be doing? Need to get all that very, very clear. Let's get it clear at the very start. So get them on the program. They will then know exactly what they need to do next and save you a lot of trouble later. Next one, 27th of January, Step Up the Leadership. Look for that. Get on the program. Now, our website is full of useful resources. Go to enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. We've got over 860 videos on our YouTube channel, Japan Dale Carnegie TV, if you like learning by watching videos. We release two TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, the premier business show on Japan, that comes out every Monday. And Fridays we release the Japan Business Mastery Show. Get my books, the bestsellers, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. Welcome back. Number 3, what are the possible solutions? This is where we get onto the front foot and start moving things forward. Not everyone is willing to come with us, though. I've noticed that those who have created the issue tend to disengage completely and give up. They have no appetite to be helpful finding solutions. This is a problem because often they are the person with the best information and most knowledge of what is involved. So these people need to be assured a mistake is not fatal and must be convinced to help in the recovery process. Number 4, what is the best solution? Now we need to get even more brains involved. Those in the immediate vicinity of the train wreck may not have enough distance to weigh up innovative alternatives. Get other departments or staff involved. At Dale Carnegie, we have this really effective brainstorming methodology which eliminates bias based on age, gender, seniority, rank, and aggression. Number 5, who will be responsible for implementing the solution? By giving the people who created the problem the chance to restore themselves through leading the solution component, we have a useful way of moving forward. It shows trust and that we accept mistakes happen but do not necessarily lead to elimination. Number 6, what is a timetable for implementation? We may have our own views on what we need to have this done by or when we need to have this done by. And as the boss, that is usually yesterday, it is best to get the people working on it to nominate the completion timetable. Of course, in Japan, they will sandbag the schedule to build themselves as much protection as possible. Unless there is a specific need to get things done by a certain time, it is not a bad idea to go with their schedule. They have set it, and now they own it. Japan throws up many challenges for the leader. I speak, read, and write Japanese, so my access to information is very high compared to someone sent here on a 3-year assignment. Despite that advantage, though, I know that there are many problems happening in the background which I will never be allowed to discover. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be vigilant and constantly checking on things. Japan is a very honest country. You can drop your wallet and someone will hand it into the police and you will get it back with nothing missing. Don't imagine, though, that this type of honesty extends to owning up to mistakes in the workplace. That is an entirely different kettle of fish. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then tell your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share this podcast. You can contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Lots of great stuff on our website, injapan.dalecarnegie.com. Until the next episode, take what you thought valuable, put into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. So be one of them. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy here in Japan, ready to help you grow your business.